I think of human health and physiology through an evolutionary lens, through the lens of evolutionary biology. And one of the things I like to do to kind of assess whether something is logical or not, whether it makes sense to me, is ask like what is this, like where is the precedent, the ancestral precedent for this, or where is the need for this based on the mismatch between how humans live versus how humans lived ancestrally, the modern environment versus the ancestral environment. As an example, it's like, well, what's the need for red and near infrared light therapy? Well, most modern humans are getting way less sunlight than we used to. It's very straightforward. And there's many other examples of that: heat and cold and feeding windows and intermittent fasting and breath holding practices. We have these ancestral precedents, and these things make sense in that kind of context. What is your understanding of like the endocannabinoid system or CB2 receptor activation through that kind of lens? Like, how does it make sense, based viewing it from that lens, that modern humans need to spend more time activating or doing more things activating the endocannabinoid system, or CB2 in particular?
Yeah, you know what? That's an awesome question. It's something I've never ever been asked before, and admittedly, something I've not really thought of, previously. I will say that the endocannabinoid system is an anciently preserved system in all vertebrates, and so basically any animal that has a backbone will have an endocannabinoid system. So it dates. It's been with us for hundreds of millions of years. Now, when it comes to how humans, our modern lifestyle, might be somewhat deficient in activating the CB2 receptors and tonifying the endocannabinoid system, I guess and I'm thinking off the top of my head here, but I guess one of the things, and this relates back to the terpenes that we talk about. The main terpene in our CB2 line is beta-caryophyllene. And beta-caryophyllene is what we call a selective CB2 agonist. So it activates the CB2 receptors without activating CB1 receptors. Again, that's one of the reasons why you get all the health benefits associated with cannabis, but none of the intoxication. Terpenes, as the main molecules in essential oils, are volatile compounds, so they evaporate quite readily. And our modern way of growing and distributing food, where we grow things in another continent prior to its peak ripeness, transported it thousands of miles to sit on a store shelf or a produce section. All those terpenes are just going to constantly evaporate. So by the time you actually ingest those foods, the amount of terpenes that you're ingesting is a fraction of what you would normally get if you were to eat that fruit fresh, or that food fresh.
That's super interesting, and that's the exact kind of thing that I'd be looking for to justify, to create a rationale for this. It's like, well, ancestrally, humans, picked a fruit and ate it. And now you get a fruit, but it sits around for days or weeks, and is transported thousands of miles before you eat the fruit. What happens chemically to that fruit before it arrives to you? Okay, and now there's some connection between that and the endocannabinoid system. Now things start to make sense to me.
Yeah. So when you think of a fresh fruit and you pick it off the tree, you can just smell the aroma. It's so potent, it's so fresh. But you buy that same fruit off a produce section in your grocery store, it almost has no smell. And again, beta-caryophyllene being such a potent activator of CB2 receptors and found in many different fruits and spices, you can see that, or you can imagine that our ancestors were consuming a lot more of these compounds than we do today. And of course, without those compounds, we're getting a lot less activation of those CB2 receptors, very similar to what I talk about in my book on the mitochondria, where a lot of the underlying processes show mitochondrial dysfunction. Well, a lot of the the same health conditions are also showing a dysfunction of the endocannabinoid system or suboptimal activation of those receptors. So this is probably one of the reasons why that could be happening.
Hey, this is Ari, and if you enjoyed this little clip, I highly recommend checking out the full-length podcast by clicking the link down below this video in the description. Check it out. You're going to learn a ton more valuable information. Also, as always, I want to mention at the Energy Blueprint, we offer a ton of solutions to help you increase your energy. And as a side effect, help you prevent disease, dramatically improve your brain function, your mood, combating anxiety and depression, increasing your resilience to stress, and increasing your longevity. All nice bonuses to strategies designed to massively increase your mitochondrial function and your energy levels. And we've got a whole suite of products, online info products that guide you on strategies to optimize your lifestyle and nutrition habits. We've got an Eat for Energy course. We've got a brain course. We've got an advanced fat loss strategies course. We've got a breathing for energy course, which I highly, highly recommend. People just absolutely rave about that one in particular. And we've got a whole suite of supplements, mitochondrial formula, a brain formula, energy essentials and superfoods, which is our comprehensive multivitamin and multimineral and superfoods formula. So thank you for watching this. Again, full length link to the full length podcast is down below. And check out theenergyblueprint.com for our whole suite of products that can help you dramatically transform your energy levels.